Ezekiel Jackson stands out in WWE history as one of the few black wrestlers to hold a world title. But his story takes an unexpected turn. Jackson discovered he was fired from WWE through the internet, just like the fans did.
I don't know what the backstage is like now on whether they're more they communicate more with these guys or not. I have no idea.
In this video, we explore Ezekiel Jackson's journey in WWE. We'll look at his quick rise and puzzling fall from grace. If you're curious about what really happens behind the scenes in WWE, you're in for a treat. Get ready to learn some surprising facts about Jackson's career that might change how you see the wrestling world.
Ezekiel Jackson.
In just 18 months, Ezekiel Jackson transforms from silent enforcer to world champion. How does this happen? Let's go back to 2008. Jackson debuts on SmackDown as Brian Kendrick's intimidating bodyguard. He's a mountain of a man who doesn't need words to make an impact. WWE sees potential in Jackson and sends him to ECW, their edgier brand. Suddenly, he's expected to wrestle and talk on his own. It's a big change, but Jackson rises to the challenge. He improves rapidly, showcasing his incredible strength in the ring. Jackson's star is on the rise as he feuds with veteran wrestler Christian. Their matches are intense battles of strength versus experience. Jackson doesn't always come out on top, but each match teaches him something new.
And now the submission maneuver, the torture rectum tapping out.
The defining moment arrives in February 2010. Jackson faces Christian for the ECW Championship. The atmosphere is electric as the two clash. In a stunning turn of events, Jackson hits his finisher, the Book of Ezekiel. 3 seconds later, he's the new ECW champion. This victory is particularly significant because Jackson becomes the final ECW champion as WWE decides to close down the brand. He's reached the top just as this chapter of wrestling history comes to an end. Jackson's journey from silent bodyguard to world champion in such a short time is remarkable. It's the kind of story wrestling fans love. But as ECW closes its doors, Jackson faces a new challenge. He's about to step into the bigger world of Raw and SmackDown, where the competition is fiercer than ever. The main roster's calling, but it's not all smooth sailing from here. With ECW gone, Jackson finds himself on Raw. He's the new guy, surrounded by established superstars. He bounces around trying to find his place. WWE shakes things up and sends him to SmackDown. It's a fresh start, but Jackson's still searching for his groove. Then comes The Core, a new stable formed by Wade Barrett. Jackson joins, and at first, it seems like a great opportunity. He's part of a team again, making waves. But he's not the leader. He's the muscle, standing in the background while Barrett does the talking. As time passes, Jackson feels out of place in The Core. He starts to break away, turning face. The crowd cheers for him, and it feels good.
Look who's joining us at ringside. Cody Rhodes has joined us here.
Jackson sets his sights on the Intercontinental Championship, building momentum with each match. On June 28, 2011, it happens. Jackson defeats Wade Barrett for the Intercontinental Championship. The crowd goes wild. It's a moment of triumph, with Jackson holding that shiny belt high. But things take a turn. Jackson's title reign is short. He loses the title just a month later to Cody Rhodes. The shine of the championship gold fades quickly. Instead of leading to greater things, it feels more like a brief pit stop on a journey that's losing direction. As the excitement of his championship win dies down, Jackson's wondering what's next. Little does he know, the toughest part of his WWE journey is just beginning. Ezekiel Jackson's WWE career takes a sharp turn after losing the Intercontinental title. He goes from being a champion to barely appearing on TV. When he does show up, it's not for long. Jackson becomes what wrestlers call a jobber, someone who loses matches to make other wrestlers look good.
We're here on Ezekiel Jackson, and Damian Sandow secures the victory.
What causes this fall from grace? It's a mix of bad luck and bad timing. Rumors of injuries start to circulate. Wrestling is tough on the body, even for big guys like Jackson. His last few appearances in WWE are forgettable. He's stuck in matches that don't matter much, and the crowd barely reacts. It's a big change from his days as ECW champion. But WWE must have plans for their former champ, right? Wrong. In January 2014, WWE releases Jackson from his contract. Here's the kicker. They don't even tell him directly. Jackson finds out he's unemployed through the internet, just like the fans. Talk about a tough break. In just a few years, Ezekiel Jackson goes from world champion to out of a job. It shows how fast things can change in wrestling. But this isn't the end for Jackson. He's about to start a new chapter in the world of independent wrestling. And it's going to be interesting. After his release from WWE, Ezekiel Jackson isn't ready to leave wrestling behind. He jumps into the independent wrestling scene, where crowds are smaller, but the passion remains strong. In this new phase, Jackson explores different sides of his character. He's no longer just the quiet, strong man from WWE. Now he's trying out new moves and catchphrases, showing fans a different side of himself. One of his biggest changes happens in Lucha Underground. He becomes Big Rick, a tough-talking guy with a cigar and an attitude. It's a far cry from his WWE persona, proving Jackson has more to offer than meets the eye. Jackson also makes a quick stop in TNA wrestling. He faces off against familiar foes and new challengers, reminding everyone he can still compete at a high level.
My name is Big Rick. I'm not afraid of anybody.
During his indie run, Jackson has some memorable moments. A standout match against John Morrison in Lucha Underground gets fans excited and shows he's still got what it takes. But can Jackson reach the heights of his early career again? He's giving it his all, using every match to prove he's still a force to be reckoned with. Despite his efforts, Jackson decides to hang up his boots in 2015. He's leaving wrestling on his own terms, closing this chapter of his life. But don't think this is the end for Ezekiel Jackson. While his time in the ring is over, he's ready for new challenges. Wrestling has taught him valuable lessons, and he's now set to use those skills in a different arena. What's next for the former WWE star? That's a story waiting to be told. Ezekiel Jackson's journey in WWE highlights the unpredictable nature of professional wrestling. His rapid rise and fall serve as a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in this industry. It's like a high-stakes game where the rules can shift at any moment. But Jackson's story didn't end when he left WWE. He's reinvented himself as a personal trainer and fitness coach, applying the same discipline and work ethic that made him successful in the ring. Now, he's helping others achieve their health and fitness goals, proving that there is life beyond the squared circle. Jackson's transition from wrestling to fitness coach demonstrates how the skills honed in one career can lead to success in another. His ability to motivate, his physical expertise, and his understanding of discipline have all translated well into his new role. For Jackson, leaving WWE wasn't the end of his journey, but the beginning of an exciting new path. But not every wrestler's journey after WWE follows such a smooth path. For every superstar who finds their footing outside the ring, there are others whose potential was cut short before they could truly shine. One such case is Mr. Kennedy. In the next video, we'll dive into the downfall of Mr. Kennedy, exploring the moments that led to his abrupt exit from WWE and the controversies that surrounded his career. Watch as we break down what went wrong and how it shaped his legacy.